They have been like two heavyweight fighters exchanging uppercuts and body blows. And today the top two teams in the Southeastern Conference will square off for supremacy in the SEC. The Kentucky Wildcats hosting the Arkansas Razorbacks, game 3 of a 3-game set. Arkansas wins Friday night. Kentucky bounces back yesterday, identical 17-6 records atop their respective divisions. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dick Gabriel along with the Gold Glove winner, Doug Flynn. Doug, we thought we would see a contentious series. I don't know if we thought we would see this kind of explosive offense.
Well, I kind of thought the games might be a little closer as well, but we saw all Alabama offense one night, all Kentucky the next. Today's a Sunday game, and if you've kept up with the SEC baseball, Sunday could be very interesting with these two really good ball clubs.
Arkansas scored 9 straight on Friday night to jump on the Cats. Yesterday it was Kentucky bouncing back.
Emilian Petre gets the Cats on the board with what looked like a fly ball routine. Hits off the top of the wall, though. Comes back up again and hits this 2-run double to give him 4 RBIs, but the Cats weren't finished. As you see, Lopez up to the bats. Hits one hard past the first base and goes all the way to the wall. It's a 3-run double, and the Cats cruise in with an 11-3 victory.
So Kentucky bounces back with a little bit of revenge yesterday, and now it's up to the starting pitchers for both teams and for the Wildcats. That means right-hander Mason Moore on the bump on Sunday, as he has been all season. Rowan County High School star, one of the heroes from last year's regional championship. 7-1 record, although of late he has not been as sharp as he was early in the season. But Doug, that sinker can be deadly.
You normally feel very comfortable when you put Mason Moore out on the mound. As you say, he does have a very good sinker to go with a changeup and a slider. Ball's been up in the zone a little bit, and other hitters have not missed that as much. But if he keeps the ball down, he's got a lot of movement. Could get a lot of ground balls today.
Hudson White delivered a 2-run shot that was an absolute no-doubter yesterday and staked Arkansas to an early lead, but that was just about it for the Razorbacks. Back behind the dish today, just a freshman. He has been solid handling this outstanding Arkansas pitching staff. Sunny day in Lexington. It was overcast when we arrived this morning, but we have been dealt a break by the baseball gods once again. Knock on whatever surface is near, and as you can see, it's another incredible crowd here at Kentucky Proud Park. Central Kentucky has fallen in love with his UK baseball team, really dating back, Doug, to the regional championship last year.
Yeah, we were selling it out. I think 7,000 was maximum, and we had the fire marshals here kind of ushering in and out of people. Come back, we've already had 21,000 over a weekend series, and now you look at the crowd that's here today. No derby to interfere with us today. Right. Yesterday was a big day in Kentucky for most of us, and we've got a lot of youngsters that are still filing in and out.
And one congratulations to Kenny McPeak.
How about that?
And the connections to Mystic Dan. I did not have him. You did not either. Kicking myself because I like Kenny. I know him, and I usually bet his horses. He wins the Oaks and the Derby. That's not a bad doubleheader.
Not a bad one at all, but we got to blame our buddy Jeff McCorrell for not letting us know. I saw a picture with him and Kenny McPeak at the Derby, and he gives us no information.
Well, I know that Jeff, who sometimes works here on SEC Plus baseball and women's basketball. He and Kenny are big buddies going back to their high school days at Tates Creek High School. Peyton Stovall leads things off, and we're underway at 1:04 Eastern Time here at Kentucky Proud Park. Glad to have you with us here at KPP on SEC Plus. Stovall batting .354. Peyton yesterday 2 for 5, drove in a run. 4 for 10 on the weekend with a double, 3 runs batted in. And
some of the
scoreboard, is not keeping up with the count, so we'll do the best we can on our screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Even the balls that he has not got base hits on, he's hit right on the button. Gives you a great at bat from that leadoff spot.
Defense plays him to pull slightly. Snuck it in the side door. Mason Moore with his first strikeout of the day.
Well, we've seen Mason's fastball, we've seen his changeup, and then saw his breaking ball as he comes back door to get a very good leadoff hitter in Peyton Stovall.
And now Vahiva Aloy Hawaiian-born shortstop. 1 for 10 on the weekend. And that base hit came yesterday when he was batting cleanup. Eloy 0 for 6 on Friday. He was one of the few Razorbacks who didn't get in to that carnival of runs, hits, walks. Razorbacks took full advantage of the Wildcats Friday night.
Trying to get him, I guess, into a good swing. He's hit second, third, and fourth in 3 straight games.
And more than once, he squared it up just right at people.
We had 2 balls to the warning track.
That's right.
That were caught with
Friday
no
night.
wind in this ballpark, which is really unusual.
But he chases, and that's strikeout number 2 for Mason Moore. And early, Doug, a lot of movement on his pitches.
Yeah, and he will. Some of the problems that he has had has been, that's just a breaking ball. It takes a little bit out of it. But when he throws that fastball, it has a lot of sink. And when he's on and has that harnessed, he is really tough to hit.
So now Ben McLaughlin batting in the 3-hole. 2 for 10 on the weekend. Ben 1 for 5 yesterday. Out of Golden, Colorado, a senior. Change of speeds there just off the plate. Now you see 7 home runs. But the 1 home run yesterday from Hudson White, a guy who prior to yesterday's game had hit 1 all year.
Yeah. We haven't seen a lot of long balls in this series.
Odd from both teams, really. Neither one is a power-laden team, but all with hitters capable of going out of the yard.
You know, 2 teams that are very similar in the way they go about the game. A lot of base hitters, a lot of guys that can hit the ball in the gaps, play solid defense.
Razorbacks as a team have hit 63 home runs, 31 in conference play.
Well, there's a 3-1 changeup. Came back with another one that looked like.
Wildcats with 65 home runs, although they have been on a home run tear of late. But as Doug said, none this weekend. So now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ran it in on the fist to McLaughlin. Hagen Smith, the starter for Arkansas Friday night, absolutely brilliant. 14 strikeouts. Showed why he's a top 5 prospect. And tried to change speeds again, but now there's a runner on first with 2 out. Here's the way the Wildcats play defense today around the outfield. Waldschmidt, McCarthy, and McCoy back in right field. Around the horn, Daly, Smith, Petrie, and Nicholson, as they've been most of the year. Lopez again the DH with Devin Burks behind the plate. The Wildcats team leader. They've got more than one, but they kind of rally around Devin Burks.
Look
He's
at
had
that
a
fielding
big series.
The fielding percentage, 981, and we noted yesterday 9 of those errors came from the mound.
Now the middle infielders for the Wildcats, between them, just 5 errors on the year, although one came yesterday by Grant Smith. But he had a big day at the plate. Mason Moore falling behind once again. Battled back against McLaughlin, but then lost him. Jared Sprague-Lott, the third baseman for the Hogs. 4-pitch walk, back to back. And this has been something Arkansas has done really all weekend long, putting people on base. This happened yesterday with 2 outs. Back-to-back runners reached base, but they were stranded.
When the opening night, 4 of their 10 runs, or 11 runs, I guess 10, had got on base via the walk, 1 by hit pitch, that ended up scoring. And when you got a good team like that, as Nick Mingione talks about his club with the take-its, you don't want to be giving away too many either.
And Friday night loss, Arkansas had runners on base in all but 1 inning. Same yesterday. Kendall Diggs had a big night Friday night. He was the offensive hero for the Razorbacks. And a pair of 2-run doubles. Burke's trying to keep Sprague-Lott honest at first base, but for the third consecutive hitter, Mason Moore falls behind.
Well, yeah, they called that a strike. It's hard to see the strike call. He does it right in front of his body, so it's a little
and the
hard to see.
scoreboard called it a ball as well.
It looked like a good pitch.
Now 1-2. Yeah, the scoreboard is at our eye level, so that's the first thing we see on ball strikes, but our folks in the control room are the people to trust, ladies and gentlemen. And a souvenir for a crowded ballpark if it stays in the park. Yes, it does. You see that wrought iron fence that leads to the hill next to Alumni Drive here in town. There are baseballs out in that ditch, I'm sure. What a great crowd.
Oh, this is marvelous today. There was the good changeup.
And a great way to end the inning if you're Mason Moore, and the Razorbacks strand 2. Arkansas nothing. Now it's Kentucky's turn on the SEC Network.
When I was younger, I played make-believe. Now when I close my eyes, I just fall asleep. Dream on, to infinity and far beyond. Maybe they'll take you fabulous places. Maybe you'll wake up right where you belong. But dream on.
When are sports more than sports? When your highlight reel opens the door to 4 years of higher education, 0 student loan debt, and NIL earning potential. When your stats include free room and board, nutrition and mental health support, plus medical care with extended coverage. And when your experiences, friendships, and development put you in the win column for life. For college athletes, sports just mean more.
Razorbacks hand the ball to another left-hander, Mason Molina, the junior from Rancho Santa Margarita, California, transferred in from Texas Tech, where last year he was all Big 12 second team, made the all-region team for the Baseball Coaches Association, and the Gainesville all-regional team. There you see his numbers, making his 11th start. Last year for the Red Raiders, 16 starts. 6-2 last season and led Texas Tech with 83.1 innings. Led the Red Raiders with 108 strikeouts, and there you see the way the Wildcats will come to the plate. Nick Lopez had a big day yesterday, back in the lineup. He sat on Friday night with left-hander Hagen Smith on the bump, and so did James McCoy. Both are switch hitters who hit a little bit better from the left side, but they will bat from the right side today, at least as long as they face, of course, a Razorback left-hander like Molina. So Arkansas's pitchers go left, right, left through the weekend starters. Kentucky's right, left, right. And left-hander Dom Nyman got a win yesterday for Kentucky. Ryan Waldschmidt to lead things off. He has been Kentucky's hottest hitter. Razorbacks have done a good job on him, Doug. He's 2 for 8.
Yeah, he's had some good at-bats, though, but just hasn't quite barreled it up. And you can see he comes up there hacking. One of the few cats that really will come up there and hack, but he's been a very good 2-strike hitter, so he's not afraid to get behind.
But Chase is upstairs, and he's behind. No ball, 2 strikes. Molina 2 years ago on the all-freshman team, Big 12. Waldschmidt guarding the plate.
So far, just throwing mostly fastball. I remember Tom Browning telling me one time, if they weren't hitting his fastball, he might not throw anything else the whole inning.
Why not?
Because he started moving it around, taking a little bit off and on.
Again, the 0-2. Changed speeds, and it worked. Leadoff man goes down on strikes in the bottom of the first. Here's the way the Razorbacks play defense today. Edmondson gets the start in left. Holt once again in center and Diggs in right. Same defense. Sprague, Lott, Aloy, Stovall, and McLaughlin. Hudson White behind the plate. Rolling the DH today behind Molina, who is pitching to his old Texas Tech teammate. Hudson White also transferred in from Lubbock. And Emilian Petrie swings at the first pitch he sees, but sends it into the stands just beyond where his family is sitting, behind the Kentucky dugout. Pete was so happy to have a big game yesterday. There you see on the screen his numbers. Happy to do that in front of Mom and Dad. But now he's down in the count 0-2. Hammered. High and deep. Diggs goes back. It's out of here. How do you like that, Mom and Dad?
Tried to get another high fastball by him, it looked like. He told us yesterday he's starting to see the ball a little bit better, which is scary if you're an opponent because he's hitting 300.
For a guy who hasn't seen the ball as well as he liked all year, he's only batting .312. Now watch Diggs, the effort he gives on this ball. He thought he had a play. I did too.
Yes, sir.
Because it was so high.
And
He's measuring himself. No. Took him a little while to come back. His teammate Peyton Hull went over to check on him. And he's rubbing his left shoulder as Devin Burke stands in, and the Wildcats with a 1-0 lead. Well, you talk about pulling the crowd into the game early. Devin batting .246.
You and I just had talked about how many non-home runs there were so far.
So Hudson White with the early home run yesterday for Arkansas. And his was an absolute no-doubter. In fact, White's home run almost reached the outer fence in left field.
You know, Petrie came close. His was off the top of the wall. We've seen a lot of them right around the warning track. But with no wind in this ballpark, man, you're going to have to hit it.
Plate umpire Ryan Broussard says, yes, you did. Jeremy Dupree at first, David Savage at second, Ray Gregson at third. Ray took one off the mask yesterday, had to pause. 2-2 pitch. Changing speeds. Burks was on it, just under it. Into the Razorback faithful. Almost a nice catch over there. I think he still got the baseball.
See if he'll give it to a youngster like they did yesterday.
A lot of Razorback fans here in Lexington. And again, a team whose fans travel well no matter what the sport. Mentioned it yesterday that when they joined the league, one of the voting ADs, C.M. Newton at Kentucky at the time, said their fans travel. That was a big reason they accepted Arkansas. Downstairs. There's every game on TV now, but there's nothing like a road trip to go watch your favorite team play.
Well, you've had an opportunity to do that a lot.
I have. And Devin Burks battles for a walk. Now, when you were with the Reds, back with that big red machine, did you see fans travel to follow you guys?
Oh, my gosh. We just seem to have fans everywhere.
Yeah.
I remember one night going into Atlanta, and they had 15,000 back before Atlanta got pretty good.
Right.
And 11 or 12 were for us. I think even Ted Turner was pulling for us.
11 or 12,000 or 11 or 12?
No,
okay.
1,000, yeah.
Now Nick Lopez. Had a lot of fun from the left side yesterday. Did 2 for 6 on the weekend. Driven in 4 runs. Had a pinch hit appearance on Friday. Kentucky with 4 hitters yesterday with 2 hits apiece.
They adjusted a little better yesterday than they did, say, in South Carolina.
Driving Devin Burks back. Devin will steal a base on you. 15 for 17 on the year. Friday night I was going on about his gimpy hamstring, and he turned around and stole second. So I guess he's okay. Another souvenir for the Hogs.
Hogs not making any plays yet on the foul balls. Might have messed up one of their hats over there,
You
though.
got somebody in a glorious Hawaiian shirt. Razorback fit. That is just outstanding.
Oh, is that nice? And he's blamed it on one of his buddies.
Nice work. Nice camera work by our folks.
I think
Friday-
we need some of those Hawaiian
I've
shirts
got a
for the
few.
air.
I've got a
Oh, I
few.
got some too, but I mean
Okay.
that'll have SEC on.
Oh, that's true. Burks was picked off Friday night, but he beat the throw to second. Lopez could not hold up. Chased a bad pitch or a good pitch, depending on how you're looking at it.
Yeah, look. Not much doubt about that one. So we've had 5 outs that have been made in the first inning, and all by strikeout.
Yep. That brings up Mitchell Daly. Transfer from Texas. Yeah, Hagen Smith guessed right. Burks guessed wrong on Friday and broke for second. But Devin slid around the tag. Was stranded, but still made it. Mitchell 2 for 7 on the weekend with a double and RBI. Two outs, infield deep. Daly's been known to try to bunt his way on, and he's done it successfully for a base hit. With the infield back.
Diggs mostly in this series has played a pretty shallow right field,
Boy, look at him now.
and he's playing pretty deep now. The wind has picked up a little bit, but not much.
Not much. You mentioned it yesterday, but this ballpark is on somewhat of an elevated plane here in Fayette County. I mean, we can see over the treetops adjacent at the Arboretum, so you get some wind, you might get a lot. Daly draws himself a 4-pitch walk that moves Burks to second with 2 out. So just as the Hogs grab 2 walks from Mason Moore in the first, so does Kentucky work Mason Molina. The dueling Masons, they have had trouble with their control, and now an army of Razorbacks jogging down to the bullpen. In right field, kind of early.
Well, you and I both talked about this game. It's got a good feel for it, a tournament atmosphere, big crowd, 2 teams in first place trying to hold on to that. There's a good chance that they'll have short leashes on their pitcher today.
Razorbacks used 2 relievers yesterday and 2 on Friday. Now Gage Wood went 4 really good innings yesterday, 4 1/3. He did give up 3 runs, but struck out 6. And other than one, really when he first got in there, other than that, he was pretty sharp. So the Razorback bullpen is fairly intact. And Kentucky has used 7 relievers, but nobody went more than a couple innings. So now Ryan Nicholson fools him with an off-speed pitch. Is left on left. Nicholson looking for a fastball he could drive. With 14 home runs, that's the team lead. He had 16 all of last year with Cincinnati. And once again, he bounces to McLaughlin. He's done that several times this weekend. And an easy play for the Razorbacks, but a good start for the Wildcats. Emilian Petrie with a big fly. It's 1-0 Kentucky.
When I was younger, I played make-believe. Now when I close my eyes, I just fall asleep. Dream on, to infinity and far beyond. Maybe they'll take you fabulous places. Maybe you'll wake up right where you belong. But dream on.
When are sports more than sports? When your highlight reel opens the door to 4 years of higher education, 0 student loan debt, and NIL earning potential. When your stats include free room and board, nutrition and mental health support, plus medical care with extended coverage. And when your experiences, friendships, and development put you in the win column for life. For college athletes, sports just mean more.
Beautiful city of Lexington has hosted the Razorbacks more than once. Kentucky with the early lead on Arkansas, but Arkansas has had its way here, visiting first Cliff Hagan Stadium and now Kentucky Proud Park. As you can see, the Hogs have won 7 of the last 10. Last time Kentucky beat Arkansas here in Lexington, 2011. And in 2022, the Wildcats opened conference play in Fayetteville, and Arkansas swept. Not a great way to begin your season, obviously, if you're Kentucky, but that was a young Kentucky team. And you see the crowd we have here today. It's an even bigger crowd in Fayetteville, where they absolutely adore college baseball. And that young Kentucky team just wasn't quite up to it Friday and Saturday as Peyton Holt looks at a strike. Wildcats competed well on Sunday but couldn't pull it out. But they saw how tough it can be on the road. And really, when you think about it, anything after that, when you compare it to what you saw in Fayetteville, it's a little bit easier to take until you get to Baton Rouge. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Peyton Holt.
Watched a little bit of their game last night when we got back.
And there's good baseball all over this league.
Yeah.
And big crowds. Baton Rouge, Starkville, Knoxville. 2-2. Big hop for Grant Smith. And just gets Peyton Holt for out number 1.
Grant looked a little gimpy on that, didn't he? He kind of, I don't know if he misstepped or what. He turned his ankle a little bit on that. He's got wasn't his strongest throw to first. He just had a little spasm. You'd never know it because even when he was hurt bad, he wouldn't tell anybody.
That is very true. Now Parker Rowland, the DH today. Tulsa, Oklahoma native. Now speaking of playing hurt, Grant Smith played all of last year with a torn hip labrum. Mason Moore will field his position, and there are 2 outs. So Smith knew going in that he would play all year in pain, but he handled it.
Yes, he did. He played well.
Now Hudson White, here's what he did yesterday, and when he put barrel on the baseball, everybody in the county knew it was gone. This was an absolute rocket shot.
Boy, it just had a good sound when it left the bat, and I mean, it clears way out of here.
You can get it to that sidewalk out there.
It's toward my truck yesterday.
Yes,
is
sir.
where it was.
Yeah. But just his second of the year, Keller, Texas native, catching his 3rd game in as many days. Mentioned earlier, transferred in from Texas Tech. Starting his 32nd game. Razorbacks 40 wins again this year with 8 losses. Kentucky 34 wins wins and 10 losses, identical 17-6 records. Hudson White's had a lot of fun this weekend in Lexington. We'll trade all those numbers for that win yesterday. But you got to wonder, Doug, when people around the league were looking at the scoreboard first Friday and Saturday. 10 runs for the Razorbacks as White draws a 2-out walk. 10 runs for the Razorbacks, and then Kentucky piling up runs yesterday. People had to be wondering what's going on.
Two of the best pitching staffs in the league.
Yes, exactly. What's going on in Lexington?
Hey, that's just baseball, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's why you love it.
Now Will Edmondson made an appearance as a pinch hitter on Friday. Luther, Oklahoma native, looking to bunt his way on. Devin Burks fielding, got him. Mason Moore gave way to his catcher, and that was the smart thing to do. Kentucky leads at 1-0. Bottom of the second inning, it's the Wildcats with the early lead thanks to the home run by Emilian Petrie. Good day to wear the shades at the ballpark. We talked about Arkansas's new faces this year, and if you take a look at that list, Doug, every one of these people have contributed this season for the Razorbacks, and we have seen most of them this weekend.
Yeah, we have. Start going down that lineup, almost like their starting lineup is right there on the left side. They not only came over, but obviously contributing very well to this highly ranked baseball team.
And now Mason Molina, one of those transfers, back to work, facing Nolan McCarthy. But you look at that lineup now, you've got a catcher and a shortstop playing a lot of innings after coming through the portal. That's big for Dave Van Horn. Wildcats have done the same thing. Similarly, McCarthy was recruited and played as a freshman here out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. As you can see, he's done some damage, yet to draw a base hit this weekend. And Nick Mingione talked about him yesterday. Actually, it was Friday. Battling at the plate against Hagen Smith. Not a bad pitch by Molina, but misses outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Wildcats last year had the number 6 overall rated portal class. That is straight up, short center field. Peyton Holt racing on. Boy, when Stovall stopped, I wondered would Holt get there, but it's hung up there for him.
It got a good pitch, 3-1 pitch, just skied it a little bit. We've seen solid defense from both these ball clubs over the week.
Yeah.
Good communication.
Sprague Lott at third has been outstanding. Aloy for Arkansas. Grant Smith and Emilian Petrie, their usual strong self. McLaughlin has played well at first base, taking some hits away. Mitchell Daly's done the same at third base. James McCoy back in the lineup yesterday. It was 1 for 3. Scored a couple of runs. And was able to hold up. Nick Mingione in his 8th season, trying to push his team to another regional appearance, perhaps another regional championship. Wildcats have won 1 SEC title. That came back in '06, and that young man was the first base coach. You see his resume as a head coach, but as a player and assistant coach, he's played on a lot of winning teams, championship teams, or been a part of a staff that has won titles.
I think what's been impressive over the last 2 years, the guys he's got in the portal and how well they've stepped in and been such an integral part of this ball club.
That ain't easy.
No.
2-2. McCoy goes the other way with a pitch that probably would have been ball 3, but guarded the plate. Now the Wildcats with their second base hit.
Anytime you see a guy with 2 strikes, that pitch, I mean, he was looking that way all the way. And off of a left-hander, You know that when he gets 2 strikes, he's either going to bust that breaking ball down in or he's going to try to get you with something down the way. Good piece of hitting.
Well, when McCoy was batting from the left side yesterday, he played him as a dead pull hitter. They really don't know how to play him as a right-hander, but he can use the entire ballpark. So can Grant Smith. Grant wore the collar on Friday night, but came back aggressively yesterday at the plate. He was 1 for 2, scored 3 runs, also drew a walk. McCoy and Grant Smith between them scored a total of 5 of Kentucky's 11. Hit hard, but there's Peyton Holt. And there are 2 outs, and that's one of those at-bats where you do everything right, but it goes right to a defender.
Yep, ball hit right on the money. We say you're going to have to bust it today. Yeah, they've been solid. They rarely make a mistake. They don't beat themselves. We knew that coming in. Arkansas, fundamentally, especially since Dave Van Horn got there, always very good.
Yep. Arkansas yet to commit an error this weekend. Wildcats with 2 yesterday, but survived them, obviously. Now Ryan Waldschmidt struck out his first time up. Third time this weekend he struck out. Waldschmidt with 9 home runs. He's got the kind of power where he can go yard anywhere in this ballpark without the wind. And right now he's just looking to drive something somewhere.
How about that one at Carolina? He hit over the stands.
Oh my gosh.
Over everything.
He's hit a couple of them here at KPP over the bullpen in left field. It's a pretty good shot. And we've actually seen a couple hit off the batter's eye this year.
We got the wind picking up just a little bit, going out to right field now.
Waldschmidt loaded up, but it's 3-1. Molina trying to avoid giving, obviously, Waldschmidt anything he can drive. McCoy is a threat. 6 for 6 in the stolen base department. Three balls, 1 strike. Top of the strike zone, I guess. Waldschmidt thought he had made first base.
3-1 off-speed pitch. Now we'll see if he comes back with that again or tries to bust him inside. Got that changeup hold on it right now. See if he adjusts it.
McLaughlin giving chase, but runs out of room. We'll do it all over again. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. McCoy on the move. Goes off speed and runs it in on him. Good pitch by Molina. Stovall says, I'll take it, and he does. Wildcats put a man aboard, but he remains right there, and it's 1-0 Kentucky on the SEC Network.
When I was younger, I played make-believe. Now when I close my eyes, I just fall asleep. Dream on, to infinity and far beyond. Maybe they'll take you fabulous places. Maybe you'll wake up right where you belong. But dream on.
When are sports more than sports? When your highlight reel opens the door to 4 years of higher education, 0 student loan debt, and NIL earning potential. When your stats include free room and board, nutrition and mental health support, plus medical care with extended coverage. And when your experiences, friendships, and development put you in the win column for life. For college athletes, sports just mean more.
Take a trip through downtown Lexington. You will see this incredible piece of art. The sculpture on Main Street as horses and riders make their way to the home stretch. We're trying to do the same thing in the SEC. There you see the scores from around the conference. Georgia with a big win. Tennessee hammers Florida. Mississippi State with a good win over Alabama. LSU gets by top-ranked A&M. Ole Miss over Auburn on the road. Missouri upsets South Carolina in the Columbia of the Midwest. And here in Lexington, it was Kentucky over Arkansas, setting up today's rubber game at a 3-game set as Peyton Stovall, the leadoff batter, faces Mason Moore for the second time. And there's Emilian Petrie. And there's one out.
LSU, when I got home last night, they were down 3-0. And then Tommy White.
Yes, buddy.
And this, was it Jones? They went back-to-back. Then they ended up tying it up that inning, going on and winning. Well, it's just, this time of year,
everybody's dialed in.
Everybody's dialed in.
So now Vahiva Aloy struck out his first time up. And he leads the team now in strikeouts with 45.
He doesn't get cheated at the plate either.
No, sir. Both he and Kendall Diggs with 45 strikeouts. But he does have 11 home runs. That's off the fists. Sends Petrie out to short right. And there were 2 out. Petrie made a catch yesterday a la Willie Mays in right center field with his back to the plate. Not quite as dramatic as Willie Mays.
Yeah.
I know you were itching to point that out.
That is, I got the year and the era that I played in was really cool, but I just missed that era.
Yeah.
Of course, probably a good thing I wouldn't got to play.
Now Ben McLaughlin. Willie Mays, I don't know if it was his first minor league team, but one of his first was Class C ball in Trenton, New Jersey. My mother grew up in Trenton, born and raised, and never let me forget that. You know where Willie Mays began his career? Trenton, New Jersey. And then my dad was a big Yankees fan. I'm not sure when, it might have been when he was in college. Managed to go see the Yankees play somewhere. 2-1 pitch. And always carried his camera with him and snapped a photo from the right field bleachers of Joe DiMaggio standing in center field. It's about like yay big. But he's like, yeah, that's Joe DiMaggio right there. And again, off the handle, there goes Grant Smith. And he hauls it in, 3 up, 3 down. Nothing across for the Hogs. On to the bottom of the 3rd. Kentucky 1, Arkansas nothing on the SEC Network.
The excitement that surrounds this tournament, the best conference tournament in all of college baseball.
Save me, so my bones have been aching.
Oh, he tattoos it!
Time to make a stand.
Man, I'm all jacked up. Let's get to Hoover.
That's a great idea. Get to Hoover starting May 21st, and you'll see some of these power hitters. Man, are they having fun. Charlie Condon, incredible. I had another one last night. They're playing right now, so check with me a little later. They have another one. Caglione of Florida. Lyle Miller Green. I mean, you got so much power in the SEC. Not a lot at this ballpark, but several guys who can go yard. But both of these teams are more station to station, although Kentucky of late has piled up home runs. One today by Emilian Petrie. He's at the plate right now.
And I think the scores indicated, too, a little bit how Kentucky normally is going to be stealing a lot of bases. We're a little surprised they haven't been running a little bit more. But you got 2 left-handers they've seen this week that hold runners on pretty good.
Petrie 1 for 3 Friday night. There's Hagen Smith on the bump for Arkansas, just incredible. And then Petrie yesterday, as we've shown you, 2 for 3, 4 runs batted in, and scored 3 runs.
Ooh, good cut.
He did measure that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. We told you McCoy and Smith at the bottom of the lineup scored 5 runs. Waldschmidt and Petrie yesterday, they scored 5. So 8-9-1-2 scored 10 of the 11. 2-2 pitch. High and deep. Not enough though. Edmondson in left field. And there's 1 out. Petrie had a warning track shot Friday night too.
That's right. Yeah, he's got surprising power the other way.
For a guy who weighed $130 in high school.
The one he hit yesterday, well, I thought was a routine fly ball, and ended up going off the top of the fence.
Yeah. So now Devin Burks drew a walk. Stranded at second at the end of the first inning. Devin fell behind 0-2 and then battled. Now he jumps out 2-0. Make it 3-0. Four-pitch walk. Devin Burks finds his way on again. Second time he's walked.
Both pitching coaches are probably shaking their head right now like, okay.
It's Sunday, we can't be doing that.
That's it.
Now both pitchers now have issued 3 walks.
How do they have any hair left? I mean, just
A lot of Maalox. So now Nick Lopez struck out his first time up. Batting .367. Transferred in from Southern Cal after a year in junior college. Prior to that, Illinois, Chicago. Santa Ana, California native. Tremendous mustache and doesn't scrimp on the eye black either. And you know, when you add those shades under the bill of his cap, that's just a great look. In fact, UK
wow.
Baseball tweeted out a real nice image of that.
That's a great look right there. Big hole to the right side.
Molina missing downstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike.
He can go that way. We've seen him do that a few times, but right now Molina's struggling a little bit with control.
Razorbacks turned a couple of double plays yesterday.
That's hit pretty good.
Reaches out and crushes it. And that is gone. That wasn't even his best swing.
Well, it looked like he was way out in front of that ball, but when it went off the bat, it jumped. Almost like you'd hit a flyer and you're playing golf and you get one, it just jumps on you and you're not expecting, but he reached out and that one really sounded good.
So the guy who was not allowed to pinch hit at Southern Cal because his coach didn't like him to bat right-handed goes yard again from the right side. Look at his extension.
Yeah, great extension. He knows he's hit it pretty good.
Wildcats now lead at 3-0 thanks to the long ball. I mentioned earlier, not a team that hits a lot of home runs, but it seems like this Kentucky team, Doug, hits just enough home runs. So now Mitchell Daly, he's got 6 of his own. For Lopez, that was number 5. And now 38 runs batted in.
He hit a similar home run from the other side of the plate one night on a slow breaking ball,
Sure
except he
did.
went out and reached and grabbed it.
Foul ball. How about the stop by Sprague Lott?
Well, we've seen him make several really good plays down at third base.
Made a barehanded grab of a hopper and almost threw a runner out.
You know, we haven't seen a lot of ground ball outs, though, in this series.
Pulls him with a slow bender. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We did see a line drive to short that Eloy turned into an unassisted double play. Molina taking his time. And it pays off. Strikeout number 3. 2 out.
Well, I think Daly might have been looking for something off speed, and he just came back with that fastball under his hands.
So now Ryan Nicholson still looking for his first base hit this weekend. He's 0 for 10. He's driven in 42 thanks to 14 home runs. Also 6 doubles. Two balls, no strikes. Molina surrendered the home run to Petrie in the first and to Lopez here in the third. Trying to avoid any more damage, obviously, from Nicholson. He can hurt you. Tried to hurt him there, didn't he?
He did. Got a pitch he liked. That's a good 2-0 pitch. Got it into his hands just a little bit.
Nicholson with that open stance. Done that all year. .33 career home runs at Cincinnati. I mentioned he had 16 last year. Likely will top that this season. Reached out on a fastball. Peyton Stovall takes care of business, but Wildcats put up 2 more. We'll talk with Nick Mingione about it when we come back here on the SEC Network. 3-0 Wildcats leading the Arkansas Razorbacks. Top of the 4th inning. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, joined now by head coach Nick Mingione. Nick, you were talking to the media again this week about how your team scores every which way. You've done that all weekend, and today so far it's been the long ball. That makes you a pretty dangerous ball club, doesn't it?
Yeah, I thought Pete did a good job getting on top of that ball that was up, and obviously Lope hit the home run, but just a reminder about the walk, the strike zone discipline in front of him with the competitive at-bat by Devo. So the same guy that made a great play coming off the bunt with their 9-hole guys that they like to do to try to get back to Stovall. So did a good job attacking, and so far so good, long way to go. But I've liked the way Mason's attacked. Get a little better with 2 outs. I thought he did better there in the 3rd inning, getting us off the field after getting 2 outs.
He's kind of looked like his old self, at least for now, right?
Yeah, he has, and he had a great bullpen. To his credit, he's so coachable. Had a couple outings where maybe he wasn't happy with, but went back to the drawing board and watched some video, and so far so good, but long way to go.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
And Trey Poozer, they're filling him up right behind Nick Mingione. They've got a lot of different ways to have fun in that dugout.
New hats they have
New
today.
hats, how about that? Everybody in the ballpark getting used to the pink hats, and now they tried another shade. As Jared Sprague Lott sees Mason Moore go 1-1, now 2-1. And no matter how you feel about what goes on in a team's dugout, some like it, some don't, but as long as it's not directed at the other team, what's the harm?
Well, it's the only time you're going to get to do this, too, because when you're playing professionally and get up, you can't have fun. I mean, you can't do the stuff that they're doing.
Right.
And I'm with you. If they're directing it at their teammates, you just don't like showing somebody else up.
Runs it down and in. On Sprague Lott, and Mason Moore rings up strikeout number 4.
That's the changeup.
Wow.
Boy, look at the movement on that. Starts on the middle of the plate and then just dives.
And boy, that reminds you of the way Mason Moore threw early in this year, of course, but especially last year during the NCAA Regional.
He was almost unhittable in the regional last year. When he came in, you knew it was lights out. And now they've had to put him into a starting position, but you feel pretty comfortable. You got a guy with his kind of stuff on Sunday.
Yep. 7-1 overall, 4-1 in the SEC. And as you said, on Sunday, most teams run a starter out there with all due respect. Arkansas has got a strong Sunday starter. But a lot of teams, are bragging on him and he hits Kendall Diggs.
Yep.
But a lot of teams will run a starter out there and then hope the bullpen can clean up.
Kendall's having a little rough day. He got ran into the wall, trying to make a grab. This one just a ball down, gets him right on the back of the foot.
On the bone, it looked like. Got to try to run it off a little. That may hurt more tomorrow. And now the man aboard, Peyton Holt. They'll try to take advantage for the Wildcats, or rather for the Razorbacks. The Wildcats up 3-0. Well, yesterday, the finish line couldn't come soon enough for Mystic Dan. Kentucky can't really think that way today with the early lead on Arkansas. Just got to get through the next inning. Now 2-0. Holt with the ground ball to Grant Smith his first time up. That was problems as soon as it left his hand. Three balls, no strikes. One out. Now a 4-pitch walk. Fourth walk delivered by Moore. Second time Arkansas had 2 men on.
Well, this has been one of the problems, and you see Dan Roselle coming out now. Hope will be able to take care of it. I mean, he can be really good, and then there's times where he just seems to struggle with get that ball over the plate. See a few guys headed down to the bullpen now for Kentucky.
Evan Byers, number 41, heads down. Robert Hogan, so lefty and a righty. Hogan went 2/3 of an inning yesterday, 2 strikeouts. Helped the Wildcats work out of a jam. And just as Dave Van Horn yesterday, not afraid to go to that bullpen early. I got to think Nick Mingione and Dan Roselle will do the same today. Both
No doubt.
Really.
No doubt. I mean, you've been given a 3-0 lead against a really good ball club. And when you're throwing it over the plate, they're not hitting it very hard, but yet you're just having trouble throwing it over the plate.
Kentucky yesterday, 11 of 32 against an Arkansas team that, as a staff, opposing batters hit 205. Now Mason Moore trying to find the plate again. Parker Rowland had a comebacker his last time up. Cats would love that now. They've yet to turn a double play this weekend.
Wow.
Now 2-0.
I'd be surprised if he's swinging away here. I'd make him throw a strike now.
3-0.
That's an off speed. He's got such a good sinker, but he doesn't throw that pitch as much as he seems to be throwing the off speed stuff today.
Fastball for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. 1 out.
He got away with that, and that fastball just ran in.
Yep. Tried to keep it under his hands as best he could.
He's got so much movement on that pitch. You know, he could start it on the middle of the plate, and it's going to move somewhere. If it's down the zone, it's still really very hard to hit.
I wonder, does he come back with a fastball or go with his sinker?
Well, he's probably going to have to go with, I doubt he'll go off speed. He's had trouble with his control with it.
Grant Smith, Petrie, Nicholson, that's 2. 6-4-3 gets it done for the Wildcats. They lead at 3-0 on the SEC Network. Wildcats lead the Razorbacks 3-0 bottom 4. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, joined now by Dave Van Horn, the veteran head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Coach, you've had a lot of traffic so far. You're just trying your best to put pressure on the Wildcats. What have you seen so far?
Well, he's done a great job of pitching out of a couple jams. Most of them, the last inning we had first, second, 1 out, and obviously a 3-0 count. Had a 3-1 pitch, he fouled off, maybe 3-2, and then the fastball away, a little sink on it, double play ball when you're not a good runner. And then, we had a couple on in the first, a strikeout there. It was with 2 outs. He does a good job of managing the game out there and throws a lot of strikes when he needs it, and we haven't swung the bat very well against him, that's for sure.
Coach, you like the way your team looks overall, though, down the stretch? Because we talked to you before the game. This is the fun time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, we can be a lot better than we are right now, honestly. I do like what we have. We've got some guys that are starting to play a little better, pitch a little better, that are pushing to get in the lineup or get on the mound. So maybe we can get some depth. We've played a bunch of games the last 4 weeks. We played 5 games a week, just about 4 weeks in a row now. And we're going to go into finals after this, and then we only have 6 conference games left. That's all we have on the schedule.
Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
New pitcher for Arkansas, now a right-hander. So the Kentucky switch hitters will step across. Nolan McCarthy leads things off.
So McIntyre came in and did a good job.
Did a good job on Friday night. In relief of Hagen Smith, who only struck out 14. Then McIntyre came on in 2 innings, struck out 3 more, gave up just 1 hit. Walked 1. But Nolan McCarthy greets him with a shot to the alley. Good speed from McCarthy. He'll take a look, and he'll stop at second with a leadoff double. McIntyre didn't make many mistakes Friday night, but he made one here, Doug.
Well, you get the ball out over the plate. That looked like a little off-speed pitch. Don't try to pull him. And Nolan McCarthy just goes the other way with some authority.
McCarthy with his quick hands, he's strong, and went the other way with it. So now James McCoy, the switch hitter, will bat left-handed against McIntyre. First pitch swinging, he'll move the runner. And there's 1 out, man on third.
It's a good job. They didn't bunt that time. They let him swing away. Gets a pitch, move the runner over. We'll see if they play their infield in, maybe in at the corners now. Middle infielder's going to stay back.
Ben McLaughlin already well in at first and well off the line, just in case Grant Smith tries to push it towards second. Sprague Lott even with a bag at third.
With that McLaughlin, he comes right in. He could tell you what you had for lunch.
A big hop And they got him. Not a great bunt. Now McCarthy immediately says review it. He thinks he got in there with a hand, so they'll check it out in Birmingham. But Grant Smith bunts it right back to the pitcher. He might have
he's
beaten
there.
that.
I believe he's there. He beats it. Yeah, it looks.
There's that left hand.
Yeah, it looks like he beats the play.
And we talked about this before we went on the air yesterday.
There's another good look.
Yep.
Yeah, he's in there.
Fielders try to tag up high on the body instead of dropping the mitt to the bag or the base.
Well, one of the reasons, too, is catchers are not allowed to block the plate,
Right.
so the time they get to where they normally would be. Well, this is a good look at it right here, slow motion.
What a great slide by McCarthy.
Great slide. His hand is on the bag right there. Then the tag. I guess they showed it on TV, too.
Right, but look, our predictions all year long, folks, we're batting 0-0-0. At least it feels that way. But McCarthy immediately up asking for a review. And I'm not sure I'd want to be downstairs if they don't turn this thing over. Call comes from Birmingham.
Here we go.
Whoa! So give Grant Smith an RBI. What a slide.
Yeah, great slide, good speed. Oh, great look at it.
So it's a 4-0 Kentucky lead. Thanks to the hustle by McCarthy, who led off the inning with a double. And then, of course, McCoy moves him with a ground ball, Doug. That's something I guarantee you that win or lose, Nick Mingione is going to mention that after the game.
Well, the old saying, get him on, get him over, get him in. We'd still like to see him make a little better bunts, wouldn't you? I mean,
I know Mingione would. So Ryan Waldschmidt, leadoff batter, 0 for 2, strikeout, ground ball, rather pop up. Ryan had that RBI double on Friday, 1 for 3 yesterday. And Grant Smith, like his teammates, is a threat to go. Wildcats have stolen 95 bags this year out of 117 attempts. Waldschmidt, the Bradenton, Florida native, just like Devin Burks, different high schools. Of course, Waldschmidt transferred in from College of Charleston, and he dumps one down the line. They're going to hold Grant Smith, and Waldschmidt with a double. They went about 150 feet, and he's actually a Charleston Southern transfer. In the box score, that looks like a screaming line drive.
well, we mentioned yesterday, I think, well, the first night, I guess, Arkansas had a couple. One of the reasons you're able to do that is you stay in on the ball. He didn't pull off of it. You know, he's been hitting some balls on the button and not getting any credit for it. That's one of those excuse me hits, but one you obviously will take.
I don't know if they all even out, but
depends who you talk to.
I was going to say, might feel like it there.
Yeah, talk to a pitcher, they don't. Talk to a hitter, they don't. So it doesn't matter.
So the mound visit for the Hogs. It's Sunday. You cannot fall behind anymore. Obviously, you cannot afford to give up anything else. Bullpen action for Arkansas. Christian Fouch, sophomore right-hander, loosening. Emilian Petrie. A home run back in the first. Big opportunity here with one out. You're at second and third. Good pitch. And McIntyre. But if you're the Arkansas pitcher, you're just shaking your head, man. You were talking about the luck for Waldschmidt going against the guy who was so sharp.
Yeah,
Friday night.
And he made a good pitch.
He did.
That's hit pretty good.
Petrie drives it. That'll chase a run home at least. And off the glove of Peyton Holt. Another break for the Wildcats. Waldschmidt had to stop at third base, but Petrie puts a charge into this one. You knew that was trouble off the bat.
Yeah, you could tell it was hit good, and Waldschmidt was tagging up. Oh, it goes right. He's there in time.
Kind of mistimed his jump.
Yeah. Looks like it hits off the heel of his glove, and it even shocked him that it didn't stay in there.
Scored a double and make it 5-0 Wildcats. Still one out, still runners at second and third. Devin Burks against a drawn-in infield. Similar situation Friday. He tried to lay one down. But Burks with 4 base knocks this weekend. He has walked twice today. Facing McIntyre for the first time, and now it's 2-0. Petrie has picked a really good time to start seeing the baseball, hasn't he?
You can't convince me he hasn't been seeing it pretty good all year anyway.
Good pitch on the inner edge by McIntyre. 2 balls, 1 strike. Another good pitch, ran it in on him, 2-2. 3 doubles this inning for the Wildcats. One just a flare down the right field line, another off the mitt of the center fielder. And Burks tags one. What a grab in center field.
Boy, if that's they call it a catch? Wow.
Tremendous play by Peyton Holt. Just a moment ago, let that ball bounce off his glove and almost immediately redeems himself.
Look, he gets that glove under it, ball goes in, outstanding catch.
But Burks with a sac fly makes it 6-0. Petrie remains at second base. 2 out. Nick Lopez will try to keep it going. Here comes Dave Van Horn, and with a left-hander at the plate, he's going to ask for a new pitcher. You and I talked about McIntyre pregame, if we'd see him and how effective he was Friday. We'll talk about that more on the other side of the break. With a new arm on the way on the SEC Network. That's the new arm for Arkansas. Christian Fouch, Littleton, Colorado native, will try to come in and slow these Wildcats. Making his 14th appearance. 1 save on the year, but right now just trying to quiet these Kentucky bats. Giving up the 14 hits in 14 2/3. He's walked only 4, striking out 13. Opposing batters an average of 264. Giving up 2 doubles and a home run. He's hit 4 batters. Trying to slow this Kentucky momentum as the Wildcats have hung up 3 in the 4th inning. So now Lopez with a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. And did that from the right side. Nick batting from the left side for the first time today. McLaughlin eats it up, and that'll do it. But Kentucky putting on the pressure. 3 more, 6-0 Cats on the SEC Network. Wildcats celebrating. They've hung up 6 on the Arkansas Razorbacks. Nick Mingione loves what he has seen so far. Here in the rubber game of the 3-game set, Kentucky leading by almost a touchdown as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Amelia and Petrie having all kinds of fun with family in the stands here at Kentucky Proud Park. Nolan McCarthy, a brilliant slide into home, and immediately said, you got to look at that one again, and Birmingham agreed with him. He was safe as Hudson White looks at strike 1.
And you and I are now 1 for 4 or 5 years.
Exactly. 1 for 4 is not bad unless it's 4 years. Mason Moore staked to this big lead. We'll see how he pitches. He can relax just a little bit. You don't want to relax too much.
Oh, no.
These Razorbacks can come back on you in a heartbeat.
Get that leading lead, as we've talked about, if you are Kentucky. And, you know, a very calm Dave Van Horn said, hey, they've been getting the job done. We haven't as of yet.
Another good pitch on the outer edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You don't want to get into a close one with Arkansas. Because of that bullpen, they have won a lot of 1-run, 2-run games.
Oh, yeah.
2-2. Off the handle, Daly scoops it up.
Wow.
Safe.
Oh.
Hustling down the line, the catcher, Hudson White. Well, that was good on both corners.
That was very good on both. You don't see a lot of catchers get down the line that well. Looks like we're going to take another look at it. They tell you that, well, you hear a lot of people say different stuff. But don't slide in, run through the bag. Man, that's close.
Nicholson was ready for around the horn. Looks like
I
he
believe
got
he's there.
Looks like he got it.
Yep. Work by our folks. And has it in the bag. There it is. Yeah, I believe it's a good call.
And we were talking about that with our pal Darren Hedrick over on radio side, who worked 10 years in the minors. The different minor league team, or really major leagues all the way. Yep. But all the way from the majors down, have bands sliding into first because of the potential injury factor. Saw that here with the Houston Astros organization when they were part of when the Lexington Legends were part of their chain. If you slid into first, buddy, you're out of the game right away.
A lot of teams will just tell you, don't do that. But it used to be don't slide into home, too.
Yeah, run over the catcher.
Well, the catchers would, they said if they came down on your hands or something, they would hurt you, or your shoulder. Yeah. Oh, the rules have changed so much.
Will Edmondson laid down a good bunt. His first time up. Trying to bunt his way on. Devin Burks pounced from behind the plate, threw him out by half a step.
Wow. You know, he hasn't used his slider very much, Dick, but when he has, it's been very effective. If he can just, when he gets ahead with his sinker or his fastball, he's able to come back with that good slider with 2 strikes.
I think broke about 1.5 feet. Strikeout number 5 for Moore, now top of the order with a man on first and 1 out. Peyton Stovall.
Maybe it's not a slider, maybe it's a sweeper now.
Whatever they want to call it, if it works.
I know. Oh, put that in your pocket.
Mason Moore tried to throw him out, but as Doug said, it was good all the way.
I'll tell you what made it so good for those. This is a perfect technique for bunting. He didn't try to put the ball on the ground while he was moving. Watch, he's standing right there. He knows all I got to do is get a decent bunt, and they can't get me. I run good. If the pitcher's got to make the throw, it's going to be a heck of a play.
This is not an Arkansas team that bunts a lot. In fact, that was the first successful sack bunt this weekend for the Hogs.
Or base hit.
Now Vahiva Aloy, and he'll dump one into right field. Windmill is on at third base. And the Razorbacks are on the board. They answer after giving up 6 straight. RBI single for Eloy. It's 6-1.
He looked like he was going right field all the way that time, too. Been struggling on pitches in. Kentucky's had his number that time. He looked for a pitch out over the plate. But when it hits on that turf, it's going to get through in a hurry as well.
Wildcats, that's McCoy doing a heads-up thing, throwing to second. That kept the runner there. So now the force play in place as Devin Burks jogs to the bump. Here comes Roselli, sneaks a peek at the bullpen where there is action. And he'll jog the rest of the way because there's a time limit now. It's been all year on mound visits.
We saw Hogan yesterday, came in and did a good job. He's loosening up. They've got pretty much everybody for today. Travis Smith threw an inning yesterday. Hagenau went a couple. Probably wouldn't use him, but they could come back. Novi's probably ready. So both teams are going to have a bullpen that's, they hope they don't have to use a lot, but that would be available.
Ben McLaughlin a walk and a pop fly in short left center field. Cats have turned one double play today. They would love to get their second right now. Moore just missing. Pair of infield singles. A solid shot by Eloy into right. Razorbacks have created traffic all day long. With a lefty up, James McCoy is deep and right. Good off speed by Mason Moore. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Last year at this situation, we'd see him with that power sinker he have. He'd throw it on the outside part of the plate, get him a ground ball.
See if he can do it here. 2-2. Overthrew the fastball.
Yep.
Now it's full with 1 out.
Arkansas been threatening most of the day today. He's been able to get out of it a pitch here and there. Keep playing with fire all day.
Speaking of, second man he's plunked today and bases are loaded.
I just don't, he just didn't have confidence in that sinker. That looked like it was going to be another off-speed pitch or something.
Kind of looked like he might have fallen off the mound a bit, or maybe his spikes on, because he looked down immediately. It might have just been in disgust. So now Jared Sprague-Lott with 1 out. The transfer from Richmond looks at ball 1. Kentucky fans loved it, but missed on the inside. By the way, how about the hats in the Arkansas section? 2 balls, no strikes.
You just stay
Not
away.
sure the relevance here, Doug. They're beer hats, of course, but and they're very stylish.
Very stylish.
2-0 pitch. Taking all the way. So you got the pink hats for Kentucky. You got the beer hats for the
And the yellow hats, too. I'm not sure what those are.
Sure, they're in the Kentucky dugout. There's the stylish pink. 2-1. Into the bat, McCoy in right field.
He's got a good arm.
But not good enough to keep Stovall from scoring. And it's a 6-2 game. A run for an out. Sac fly by Sprague-Lott. Kentucky lead is back down to 4. Boy, with McCoy coming on to make that catch, I thought we might see a little more contention at the plate, but
kind of threw it in the ground, didn't he?
yeah, Stovall really runs well. Kendall Diggs, that's the guy you want up right now if you're Arkansas. He has been hit by a pitch, struck out. He has seen the ball well all weekend for a 246 hitter.
Yeah, had 4 RBIs in the first game.
Good stop by Burks. Pair of infield singles, a solid single to right and a sac fly, putting Arkansas in business here in the 5th inning. Evidently, that's the bases loaded thing to do, is put the beer hats on for Arkansas. Crack staff coming up with that info as it goes 2-1.
Mason looked like really laboring right now.
Hogan still loosening in the Kentucky pen. Good pitch under the hands to Kendall Diggs, the Olathe, Kansas native. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 out. With a left-hander at the plate, Emilian Petrie is several steps into short right field. You see the Kentucky defensive alignment on the left side, they're pulled over. Tried to get that inner edge again and just missed. Runners on the move with 3-2, 2 out.
Another off speed.
How about that?
Yeah. He threw a pitch the last time up I thought was going to get Diggs out, but he was able to fight it off, and then he ended up getting hit by a pitch. So he's been a pretty good 2-strike hitter.
He's had good at-bats all week.
He sure has.
1 for 3 yesterday. 2 for 5 Friday.
Wow.
Got the outer edge. Mason Moore gets a strikeout when he needs it, and he charges off the mound, but Arkansas scores 2. It's 6-2. Wildcats broke open a 1-0 game with 2 in the 3rd, and then in the 4th inning, watch the slide by McCarthy. Called out, they turned it over. That helped open the gates for the Wildcats as Emilian Petrie off the glove of Peyton Holt. That goes as a double. Devin Burks with a sac fly, and then Arkansas goes to work. RBI single by Aloy to right field. And the Razorbacks put pressure on the Cats and make it a 6-2 game. Lots of baseball left here at Kentucky Proud Park. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, glad to have you along on a sunny Sunday. Here you see the clouds in the sky off in the distance, but we have been blessed with outstanding weather all weekend long.
Prior to that inning, Razorbacks did not have a hit. And then they put 3 together and a sac fly, get a couple of runs.
Yeah, you're right. It was a hitless Razorback team, but as we said, putting all kinds of pressure on Kentucky, getting runners on base. So now Mitchell Daly, who made a terrific stop and a great throw on a hard hit ground ball, but runner beat it, did a great job sliding in.
Did we mention that this young gentleman in the game, Fouch, only throws about 1,000 miles an hour?
That was 98 just now. He missed upstairs with it.
Boy, look how easy, too. And he's a youngster. Just a sophomore. Just easy, and this ball explodes out of his hand.
Easy pickup for Aloy. And there's 1 out. We have seen a steady parade of college pitchers come through this ballpark, not just SEC pitchers either, throwing in the high 90s. And all the while, you see professional pitchers going down with injuries.
Pretty soon, they'll probably figure out that you don't need to throw max effort on every single pitch.
Ryan Nicholson digs in against the right-hander.
But remember, in the old days, you used to have all of those guys on the bench. You'd have pinch hitters, utility players. Now you don't have as many of those as you have pitchers because you're using so many of them.
That's a great point.
Well, of course.
Back in the, well, you said it, so therefore, cause and effect. But do you remember back in the day, how many pitchers you guys carried as compared to now?
No, but I remember all the guys we had on the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, just like my first year, you had a right-handed, left-handed pinch hitter, a couple of utility players, backup catchers.
Nicholson facing a right-hander for the first time today. He was the last man to face Mason Molina, the lefty. 2 balls, 1 strike. What was Chico Ruiz considered, utility or pinch hitter?
Utility.
One of my faves.
Yep. He was stylish, too. Patent leather shoes on the bench.
Two 2-1 pitch. High and deep. Left center. And Peyton Holt hangs on to this one. You can't get it much farther without at least hitting the wall. Ryan Nicholson put a charge into that one just a little too high.
Well, he does have this one measured. Goes back, make sure he gets that hand. Knows exactly where the wall is. Nice play there. And he's probably kicking himself because he ran that other ball down. It was in the gap that Petrie hit.
So now Nolan McCarthy got things started for the Wildcats. Back in the 4th with a double. Moved up on a ground ball. Came home on a ground ball by Smith. Actually, a bunt right back to the pitcher. Who made the quick throw to the plate, but McCarthy sliding under the tag. Called out immediately, begged for a review, and Nick Mingio never hesitated.
How about this youngster here throwing 98 miles? Just wait till we haven't seen his breaking ball very much. But you can tell he's got a fastball and high velocity that's running all over the place.
McCarthy trying to measure it. But as Doug said, one after the other coming out of that Arkansas bullpen. Vouch 6'3", 230. Out of what they call the hog pen. $99.
On your hands.
That's all, just $99.
We've seen a lot of guys over the years come through here. They've been close to that. Think back all of those Vandy pitchers used to have some LSU.
Vouch 14 appearances last year as a true freshman. Short innings. Not a bad piece of hitting for McCarthy to go the other way and fight it off. A 2-out single, his second base hit of the day.
I think maybe there's a lesson there. I mean, look how easy it was to hit backside for him. He just waited. When somebody's throwing 98, you really don't have to let the ball travel. That it gets there pretty quick. That pitch was out over the plate. Just does a nice job of going the other way.
So now James McCoy batting from the left side, as you can see. His ground ball to the right side of the infield moved up McCarthy and set up that drama at the plate back in the 4th inning. As Vouch jumps out, no balls, 1 strike. The top-rated right-hander in the state of Colorado coming out of high school. Part of another terrific recruiting class from Arkansas.
Delayed steal.
McCarthy goes in standing. Fourth stolen base of the weekend for the Wildcats. 4 for 4.
Yeah, and that's not a straight steal. That's just a good delayed steal.
Second steal by McCarthy this weekend.
You called that on the pitch, I guess.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
We'll take a look at it. It's definitely up, and he definitely didn't swing. Other than that, I don't have an opinion.
I feel better now.
Oh, okay. I know I shouldn't say that, but come on.
Pulled the string on it. So the Wildcats threaten. They leave a man in scoring position. It's a ball game after 5. Kentucky 6, Arkansas 2. It is hallowed ground in college baseball. Omaha, College World Series site. And if you can host a super regional, you got a real shot. Obviously, you need to host that regional and win it, as Kentucky did last year. Arkansas has been to Omaha numerous times. Wildcats have not yet made it. So they will try to keep right on winning, as will the Hogs. So possibly hosting a super regional as a national seed. And there you see the new arm for the Wildcats, Robert Hogan, the Texas A&M transfer from North Oaks, Minnesota. And his numbers include a performance yesterday that was outstanding. Came on when the Wildcats really needed it. Dougie faced 2 batters, struck him out. 9 pitches, 7 strikes.
I'm thinking that we're going to see that bullpen stay very active over the next several innings. Maybe both bullpens, I don't know, but Kentucky's for sure.
Could be a John Allstaff situation, but in a good way. Generally, you see that if staff's getting roughed up. Waiting on Devin Burks.
Little equipment. Where's his pit crew? They should have been down there working on him.
So now Peyton Holt, who's been a busy man in center field, will try to get things started. Starts him off with an off-speed pitch after throwing smoke yesterday at the Razorbacks.
Yeah, he threw good yesterday. And no, he's in good shape today. Just that one inning.
Came back again with off-speed. And Hogan got that second strikeout that ended the inning and let out that primal scream. Charged off the mound.
They'll have to be a little, try to get that good breathing going. You know they're a little bit amped up coming into a game like this.
Hogan came on with a runner aboard, 1 out.
That's a nasty changeup right there.
Yep. Came on for Dominic Nyman.
Tough pitch to lay off of, but it's a ball away, and Holt does a good job of taking it. Once again, running the count full.
Drew a walk his last time up. Again off speed. So yeah, if you're the Hogs, you see him come out and say, well, he's the guy who threw smoke yesterday, but in this league, you got to be ready for anything, obviously. Another off-speed pitch.
Yeah, both of them right up the eyes, too. First one he threw was a little bit down. That one, he's got them both up. But
Holt's drawn only 15 walks in the year, but he's only struck out 13 times in 30 games. Inside out, there's Emilian Petrie. Positioned perfectly, and there's 1 out. Holt battled.
We didn't give in either.
No.
I mean, you look at the pitch in there, they just never did give in to throw him that fastball. He only uses it sometimes to get ahead so he can use his other stuff. Keeps the hitters off stride.
Now Parker Rowland, transfer from Eastern Oklahoma State College. Started his career at Arkansas State. He's a backup catcher, 6'3", 215. One ball, one strike. Rowland started 42 games last year at catcher. Got the outer edge, 1-2.
Back-to-back breaking balls.
Hudson White transferred in. He's been more of the regular behind the plate, but they like having Rowland in the lineup. Gives him a good left-handed bat. Last year defensively, Doug, 410 total chances, 1 error.
That's very good.
.998 fielding percentage.
That's Gold Glove territory.
Not shabby. Off speed.
You're catching a lot of guys that throw hard, a lot of guys that really haven't developed with their control, so you are working hard back there.
Well, speaking of working hard, 2 years at Arkansas State, a season at Oklahoma State College. Now he's playing for the #1 team in the Western Division of the SEC. And a 2-2 count against Robert Hogan. Fooled him. Another strikeout for Hogan. That's 3 on the weekend. 2 out.
Well, he's just not giving in. He's throwing a lot of off-speed and break-it balls. It's another one of those sliders, and he threw 3 good ones to him that time.
Well, you could really see the spin on that pitch.
Yeah.
And now Hudson White. A single, a walk. He has scored 1 run. Had that home run yesterday. That looked like a fastball.
That was a breaking ball. It was a slider.
Yeah.
Another slider on, yeah.
85.
Oh.
Just past the mitt of Hogan.
That one went in at 94 and came back out at about 104.
Hudson White's having himself a weekend.
He is. He looks solid. Not only behind the plate, but also, look how, boy, just compact swing right there. Beat out the infield hit last time. Well, that'll wake you up now.
White now 5 for 9 against these Wildcats. So a man aboard for Will Edmondson here in the top of the 6th inning with 2 out. Edmondson with a home run on the season, as you can see. Luther, Oklahoma native. Locates the off speed again. Hutchinson Community College transfer. First year with the program. Hutchinson CC, the nickname the Blue Dragons. You gotta like that.
Yeah.
MVP in his conference last year. All he did was hit .454.
That'll work.
And 11 home runs on the JUCO level. Blew that one right by him. And Hogan again stalks off the mound after 2 strikeouts. 6-2 Kentucky.
77.
Well, as they turn for home here at KPP, it looks like Blue Shark and then Yellow Shark going to get there. But now we've got an inquiry as the Pink Shark jumps out. Now look at this. You got an 8-length lead, but as they come to the wire, well, we don't see it there, but it's a photo. Just like yesterday's Kentucky Derby, only 2 animals, not 3. But I'm not sure about that shark that jumped out of nowhere. It's almost like the New York Marathon all those years ago.
Yeah.
Somebody jumped out and won it. There you see Kentucky's numbers and why the Wildcats are so dangerous in conference play, leading in so many different categories. Third in runs batted in, so as we said earlier, they just find ways to score, ways to beat you. They've done that today against Arkansas so far, but both coaches will tell you there's still a lot of baseball left.
Oh, yeah.
Here on a Sunday afternoon with Grant Smith leading things off. At a sack bunt that went for a fielder's choice in RBI his last time up. And a new arm on the bump for Arkansas, another hard thrower, 96 miles an hour from Gabe Gackel, a right-hander from Aptos, California. True freshman. Drafted in the 20th round, Mr. Flynn, by your Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, got that baby face and then that manly arm throwing that thing hard, boy. I mean, 40 Ks in 28 innings.
Off speed.
And then that's the old equalizer right there.
Yep.
Good breaking ball.
Number 10 right-handed pitcher in the entire class of 2023. According to Perfect Game, number 2 right-hander in California. Pretty big state. Another spinner, Grant Smith staying alive. High school All-American his last 2 years in high school. One ball, 2 strikes. 96. You see Grant on the day. Came around and scored in the 4th inning after he beat out, or after McCarthy beat out that bunt. 2-2. Another slider.
See if he'll take a page out of Nolan McCarthy's playbook. Hit that ball the other way when you're off a hard thrower like this.
Now he's running 3-2. Third pitcher out of the pen for the Razorbacks. Came with a fastball and Smith got under it. Peyton Holt. Out goes Stovall, but Mr. Holt, between the two Peytons, pulls it in. So Grant Smith, if nothing else, gave Ryan Walshman a lot to study. Walshman standing in the on-deck circle, 1 for 3 on the day. Last time up, delivered his 2nd double of the weekend. One of 3 Wildcats to double back in that productive 4th inning. When Kentucky put up 3. Walshman, one of the Wildcats who came around.
Well, he must wake up hacking. He comes up to that plate. You like to see that. Look for that first pitch fastball. Then he adjusts.
There's the slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. Walshman now with 13 doubles on the year to go with his 9 home runs. It's going to be interesting watching Mr. Gackel develop with this Razorback staff. Dave Van Horn. Maybe we see him in the rotation next year.
We've already got one of the best pitching teams in America. Now you're going to add some of these youngsters on there too. That's whew.
The Wildcats jumped on Mason Molina for 3 runs. And interestingly, McIntyre comes in, and Kentucky, which could barely touch him the other night, roughed him up for 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning.
Didn't have that same zip today when he came in.
And And Waldschmidt gets under it. This time it's Kendall, Diggs, and Wright. 2 out. Wind is picked up. It's blowing out to right now. Emilian Petrie stands in, and his first time up today, he's taken Kentucky to an early lead with a towering fly ball that just got out over the mitt of Diggs, who gave it everything he had. The Spider-Man moment at the plate. Wildcats celebrate an early lead, and they expanded it to 6-0 before Arkansas put up 2 in the 5th. Petrie rolls over on it. McLaughlin, another clean pickup. And a good inning for the freshman Gackle after 6. 6-2 Wildcats on the SEC Network. After 6 innings, it's the Wildcats with 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Arkansas 2-4-0. It took the Hogs 5 innings to get their first hit, but then they went to work and hung up 2. Trying to keep pace with those Cats who have had a couple of home runs today. Petrie and Lopez, and now they turn to Jackson Novy, the left-hander out of the bullpen. We saw him Friday night, and he struggled against Arkansas. Went 1 full inning, gave up 3 hits, 4 earned runs, walked 1 and struck out 3. Faced only 8 batters. But Arkansas took the measure of the left-hander, who comes back after a day of rest and is the second Wildcat reliever.
It's real important for him to get ahead of hitters. Then he can start throwing all that others. But if he doesn't, as you said the other night, Arkansas had him measured pretty good. Scored runs after a big inning. They got top of the order up for the Razorbacks. Trailing by 4, so it's a big inning for both teams.
Hogan 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, struck out 2. Slowed down that Arkansas momentum, so now the Hogs will go back to work. As Doug said, with leadoff hitter Peyton Stovall. Beat 1 out his last time up and came around to score in that 5th inning. 1 for 3 with a strikeout, a ground ball. Houghton, Louisiana native. He drops the bender in. Hit hard into the alley. That's going to find the wall. Peyton Stovall with a leadoff double for Arkansas. The Razorbacks regain some of that momentum.
Well, what a good little ball player this guy is. He hadn't made a whole lot of plays at second. He just hadn't had much action. But offensively, you throw him out over the plate, he is going to fill that left center field up all day long.
So now Vahiva Aloy, the Hawaii native, transferred in from Sacramento State, where he was a freshman All-American last year. He's also the Western Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year, and they say that was a swinging strike. Break for the Wildcats.
You be the judge.
And that's a souvenir. No balls, 2 strikes.
Kind of runs in cycles. They call a lot or they don't call a lot. Sort of runs in cycles.
That young man batted .376 last year. 14 home runs at Sac State. Aloy, one of the top 65 hitters in the country in batting average, D1 baseball. Off the fists, Daly looks the runner back. And there's 1 out. Good pitch by Jackson Novy, ran it in on him. So now Ben McLaughlin, the first baseman, who has done a credible job at first defensively, he's fielded a lot of ground balls this weekend, taking away a couple of hits. Hutchinson Community College transfer from Golden, Colorado.
Does Arkansas have a similar surface to ours?
Grass.
Ours. To this one? Grass. But they got to love playing on this, I think.
McCarthy on the run. Runner tags. And Stovall in easily at third with 2 outs now.
Boy, I saw pictures there. They're putting, what, 10, 11,000 in there every night?
Yep.
And it's good to see right here today. We probably got 6,000 plus here today at Kentucky Proud Park.
They play at Baum Stadium, of course, at George Cole Field, Baum Walker Stadium. Back in the 90s was voted the #1 facility in college baseball. But you and I have worked games here since they opened Kentucky Proud Park in 2019. It's been really interesting to hear the reaction of players and coaches who come in.
What was the word that Hagen Smith said about it? We interviewed him about the ballpark. Sick.
Sick ballpark.
Yeah.
Fans in Central Kentucky have been flocking this season. But you know what they learned at Arkansas, and that just broke around the plate. Put a good product on the field, win some games, contend for championships.
That'll bring them out.
The best marketing ploy you have.
Yep.
(3-1), and he's walked him. So now with 2 out runners at the corners, and Kendall Diggs makes his way to the plate as Devin Burks making defensive signals to his teammates.
Well, he's around the plate, not missing by much. This guy, as you said, the first night had 4 RBIs.
He has struck out twice today and also been hit by a pitch. Tried to keep that home run by Petrie in the ballpark. We'll be trying to nibble the outer edge, but missing twice. Nicholson and Burks both out to chat with a left-hander. And yes, there is action in the Wildcat bullpen. Got to empty the bullpen today.
Oh, yeah. 5 walks, 2 hit by pitches by the pitching staff today. As you said, a lot of traffic for Arkansas been on the bases.
O'Brien loosening for the Wildcats. Cameron O'Brien is number 10. Johnny Hummel, number 49. He has been the stopper, the guy who comes on in the 9th. Novy gets a strike when he needs it. 2 balls, 1 strike, with 2 outs. Here on the top of the 7th. Top 2 teams in the SEC, each with 17 conference wins. Good fastball down and away by Novy. Razorbacks last year won the SEC overall title with 20 conference wins. Well, that didn't miss by much. Now it's full with 2 out. Sprague Lott will be on the move from first. Back up the middle.
Trouble.
Petrie's got it, but it drives in a run, and the Razorbacks are still alive. And they might have been able to double off Sprague Lott, but Grant Smith also giving chase.
This ball's just hit perfectly. Petrie does a good job of getting to it, knocking it down, but a good at bat again by Diggs.
So Diggs has come through for the Razorbacks really all weekend. And now Peyton Holt will try to keep things alive. 2 outs, runners at first and second.
Arkansas just pecking away.
And that's going to do it for Jackson Novy as Nick Mingio makes his way from the dugout with a right-handed batter at the plate. We'll see a new arm. We'll tell you all about him when we come back. Kentucky 6, Arkansas 3 on the SEC Network. Cam O'Brien out of the Kentucky bullpen for the second time this weekend. The senior transfer from Campbell University. First man out of the pen for the Wildcats Friday night. And Arkansas roughed him up. He went 1/3 of an inning, gave up a base hit and a run scoring double. .6'5", 220, and inherits 2 runners. Mentioned this race in the Southeastern Conference. Wildcats have that half-game lead on Tennessee. Razorbacks trying to protect the 2-game advantage on Texas A&M. Mississippi State trying to hang in there with 2 series left in conference play. Georgia looking up at both Tennessee and Kentucky. Of course, the Volunteers came in and won the series 2 weekends back in Lexington, and Kentucky trying to take that giant stride with a win over these Arkansas Razorbacks on Sunday. Cats had a 6-0 lead. Razorbacks have scored 3 straight. Looking for more with Peyton Holt standing in. 2 ground ball outs and a walk. So they touched O'Brien yesterday. First pitch swinging. That's McCoy in right. And that'll do it. That's the definition of putting the fire out. But Arkansas with another run. It's 6-3 Kentucky on the SEC Network.
There ain't no party like a watch party. Very interesting to see how the committee seeds these teams. We knew they were going to get in. We've got Omaha covered. Pulled off a little bit of a surprise. They are in. Let the road to Omaha begin.
Selection Special comes up May 27th at noon. And there's a look at how D1 baseball sees the field of 64 with possible national seeds. SEC ball clubs up and down that list, as you can tell. And well, those Georgia Bulldogs, man, Charlie Condon is just having himself a lot of fun this year. He's gone yard again. We'll show you that coming up. Guy who sat out his freshman year redshirted, they told us when they came through here, he just wasn't good enough. And then somehow turned it on the following year as a redshirt freshman to 25 home runs. He's up to what, 33?
He's a beast too. I mean, he's a monster.
Yeah. National Freshman of the Year last year. Some say the first player taken in this year's draft. Devin Burke's trying to get things started for the Wildcats. We're looking now for insurance. Devin productive today. 2 walks, a sac fly, an RBI, a run scored. No official ABs today. And he tattoos that one, but there's Peyton Holt again. Well, just as Grant Smith lined one into center, Devin Burke does the same thing.
A couple of balls on the button, but Not today. Big ballpark, very little wind.
That sac fly of his was very similar. It's even deeper than that one.
Got to get a little spin on that thing, a little backward spin to get it up and down.
Well, now Nick Lopez, 2-run homer back in the third inning, looming even larger. And all he did on that one, it's oversimplified, but he stuck his bat out. But so strong and quick with those hands, dumped it over the left field wall, no doubter.
He had good extension on that pitch, and I mean, that ball jumped off.
Good pitch to lay off of, 2-0. See if they turn him loose here. Got a piece of 96.
The umpiring crew, you're going to be surprised at me. I think they've done a very consistent job this weekend.
I see some ID.
Yeah. They've been consistent.
And once again, challenges with mid-90s, and Lopez trying to just get enough. Now does he come in with anything junky?
Take a good look at our guys in blue.
Yes, he does, and Lopez dumps it into center field for a base hit.
Good play by Holt. That ball almost took a big hop over his head.
Breaking ball up in his eyes. Drops in over the plate. Watch this hop.
Yeah, it can't. I mean, wow, it's a good thing he's got that 21-inch glove right there. That not a problem for him. He had it measured.
Now Mitchell Daly. A ground ball, a strikeout, a walk. Looking for his first base hit of the day. And that is part of Daly's routine if he's taking that first pitch to show bunt. Try to put that defense on its toes, and now Spraglott even with a bag at third. Double play depth up the middle. Daly, born in Fort Hood, Texas, when the Wildcats played down in Round Rock in a round robin event. He had a grand slam. One of 6 home runs for Daly.
He's in a couple opposite field too.
Yep. Lopez 3 for 4 in the stolen base department. .95 miles an hour, and Daly just trying to keep up. Most of the crowd has stayed put here on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon.
Well, it is gorgeous. 77 degrees. Perfect.
If you've never been to Lexington Baseball Stadium, part of the complex that houses soccer, softball, right across the street football. One-two pitch. It's similar to Fayetteville. On the run, 3 defenders, and that's Kendall Diggs making the grab at the foul ground. 2 out.
We covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
He's playing pretty deep. The ball was hit very high. He does a good job of getting in there and taking control, because it was going to be a tough play for Stovall. But as we've talked over and over, this team's very solid. They play good D. They don't beat themselves.
Ryan Nicholson trying to find something he can square up.
He went about as far as you can go without getting out of here last time.
Sure did. Fly ball to deep center field. Missed a home run by about 2 feet. 2 ground balls to go along with that fly ball. Facing his 3rd pitcher of the day. Sends it right back up the middle. Lopez on the move. Misplayed by Holt. They're going to send him.
Good job by Nick Mingione that time. Once he saw the misplay, he never hesitated sending him. And Lopez never quit running.
Big run for the Wildcats to get back the run they gave up in the 7th to make it 7-3. A rare mistake by the Razorbacks. It just popped out of his hand.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of middle infielders do that when they're going to try to turn a double play. Boy, Nick never hesitated. And he gets in there easily.
So Nicholson now at first base. Backhand by Alloy is going to make the long throw, and he gets McCarthy to end the inning. But the Wildcats get a break. 7-3 Kentucky on the SEC Network. You say you like home runs? Charlie Condon's got him. Boom.
Ooh, hanging, breaking ball. Goodbye. Get that building. Man.
Over the trees down in Athens. He's done that a lot this year. 33 times. Goes yard against those Commodores in a 10-3 Georgia lead. Alabama comfortable over Mississippi State. Mizzou trying to close out South Carolina again. LSU with an early lead on top-ranked A&M. Ole Miss, Auburn later on. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, and our outstanding SEC Network crew here at Kentucky Proud Park. As Parker Rowland leads things off for the Razorbacks. Down to their last 2 at-bats. Cam O'Brien still on the hill for the Wildcats. With action in the bullpen. Johnny Hummel still loosening. O'Brien finds the inner edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Parker Rowland struck out his last time up, bounced into a double play, and a comebacker today. Misses with a breaking ball. It's just incredible what they come up with when it's rally time for the Wildcats. That is hit hard and high. Waldschmidt with room. And there's 1 out. Well, just think of the neck strength it takes to balance those hats. You know, that's an athletic move.
That is an athletic move. Looks funny seeing all the guys in there with no hats on, and, except for the yellow ones.
And they alter the visor for balance.
Now, when someone does that, are they responsible just to stay there the whole inning, or until somebody deems they can take them off?
I can't answer that. Probably the whole half inning. Maybe the entire inning. Hudson White. He's been trouble today. 2 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. I'm going to go old guy on you.
Okay.
Growing up, there was a child's book. I don't know if it was Dr. Seuss or not. I don't think it was. Called The 500 Hats of Bartholomew Cubbins. About a guy who finds a magic hat, and underneath the hat is another hat, then another hat. The first thing I thought of when I saw that. I don't know what that says about me, but I'm like you. I can't remember what I had for lunch, but I can remember
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
2 balls, 1 strike. The Hudson White Keller, Texas native, outside of Fort Worth, the mid-cities. Closer to Fort Worth than Dallas. Sky high. Waldschmidt back and now in. 2 out. Just the way he's taught, he steps back first and then charges. So O'Brien's retired 3 straight on fly balls. You mentioned earlier, not a lot of ground balls all weekend. Will Edmondson. A couple of strikeouts. And he dropped one down in front of the plate that he nearly beat out, but Devin Burks made a terrific play. Getting out, calling off Mason Moore. Fielded the ball and made a strong throw to first base.
Yeah, I thought when he first laid it down that no one was going to be able to get to it, but Devin popped out and got it, and hadn't shown any signs of his leg bothering him at all today.
Nursing that hamstring. But as we mentioned, he stole a base earlier this weekend. Edmondson from Luther, Oklahoma, just northeast of Oklahoma City. Two balls, two strikes. Of course, Oklahoma City is where the softball World Series is. Got to cover that event 10 years ago when Kentucky made it outstanding. They've since renovated the stadium. 2-2 pitch. Got the inner edge. First strikeout for O'Brien, and it comes at a good time as it closes out the 8th inning. Wildcats hope to bat for the last time, leading 7-3. It's been a real shark race here in Lexington. The Wildcats trying to close out these Arkansas Razorbacks, who are not going quietly. 7-3 Kentucky. Nick Lopez having a big day with a 2-run homer and scored that all-important run in the 7th that reestablished the Wildcats with a 4-run lead. They got the rally hats going. They got the Rattling Bog song going. And they got the creams going on today as well. We haven't mentioned the uniforms. That's a real fan favorite.
Old school look.
Sunday creams with the cursive Kentucky across the chest. James McCoy is going to try to beat this one out, but Peyton Stovall beats him. And there's one out. Good start for the Hogs. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Stovall can play for me anytime. Solid. Played good defense. Made some nice plays, and then always swings a bat. Not afraid to hit the ball the other way.
We've bragged on a lot of these Razorbacks defensively. Sprague Lott at third, terrific. Alloy dominates the routine play. So does the man at the plate, Grant Smith, who's made a science of dominating the routine play. Ran with a run-scoring fielder's choice back in the 4th inning. Picked up an RBI when Nolan McCarthy came home on his bunt, which was less than perfect, Grant Smith. Right back to the pitcher, who fired it home, but McCarthy slides under the tag, was called out, reversed on further review. So upon further review, Grant Smith picks up an RBI, number 31 on the year. Big hop for Alloy. Shortstop takes care of shortstop, and there are 2 outs. Kind of an uncharacteristic inning, Doug, with a pair of ground balls.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot over the weekend.
Up until the 8th inning, only 4 ground ball outs by the Wildcats, and now back-to-back. And here's leadoff man Ryan Waldschmidt. A double, a run scored, 1 for 4. .95, but too high. His double was a flare down the line. Came around and scored on a sac fly by Devin Burks. Looks at an off-speed pitch on the inner edge. That is crushed to right field, but Diggs is there on the track and hauls it in with 2 steps to spare. Wildcats go down in order. We'll go to the 9th. 7-3 Kentucky on the SEC Network. 7-3 Razorbacks, and if you're wondering what's next for the Western Division leaders, well, those Bulldogs from Mississippi State. Then it's a trip to top-ranked Texas A&M. What a way to close out the season, heading into the SEC tournament. But it's never easy in the Southeastern Conference. All the Wildcats have to look forward to is a trip to Gainesville, Florida next week after the midweek with Xavier. And then after a midweek with Wright State, Vanderbilt's Commodores come to town to close things out as Kentucky, if things go well, will be trying to close in on an SEC title. So now Peyton Stovall, leadoff batter. Trying to get things started here in the 9th inning. A double, a single, 2 for 4. They scored a couple runs. Razorbacks got their first base hit in the 5th inning.
Uh-oh.
Got under that one.
Uh-oh.
McCoy escorts it out of the yard, and Arkansas breaks back with another run here in the 9th inning. That's 7-4. Stovall home run number 8. RBI number 35, and he has scored his 3rd run. And the Razorbacks will not go away.
Boy, is he a good player. Breaking ball, gets that foot down. Boy, goes down and gets it. Wasn't much doubt this ball cleared the fence a bunch.
And here comes Nick Mingione. He's seen enough. He wants to go to his bullpen. With Vahiva Aloy at the plate. And that means we step out. The day is done for Cam O'Brien. 7-4 Kentucky on the SEC Network. Johnny Hummel gets the call for the first time this weekend out of the Kentucky bullpen. As you can see, a senior from Charlotte, transferred in from Erskine College, and has become a real workhorse out of the pen late. Making his 17th appearance, 32 strikeouts, only 7 walks, 5 saves for the Wildcats this year, has developed into the closer. Kind of about midway through the season became the go-to man late in the games. Now, if you follow Kentucky baseball, you know that his last time out was a bit of a disaster. Down at South Carolina with his team ahead late, 5-2, gave up 3 consecutive home runs. Send the game to extras where the Wildcats let it get away. That was on a Friday night. They came back and won the series. But when wins are so valuable in the SEC, let one get away like that, it really stings. But prior to that, he's been strong. And he delivers strike 1 to Vahiva Aloy. Hummel, that over-the-top arm slot can drop down a little bit, give hitters something to think about. And he'll slow it down on you.
And if the location's like that, that is really tough to hit.
Well, he fools Aloy with another breaking pitch, and there's one out. Boy, ran down and away from a good hitter. So now Ben McLaughlin.
They've done a real good job on him this weekend, getting ahead of him most of the time, and they've been able to throw a lot of that off-speed stuff.
Aloy just 2 hits on the weekend. He did drive in a run earlier in this game, and Ben McLaughlin looks at strike 1. Pair of walks, a couple of fly balls. McLaughlin has been so steady defensively for Arkansas at first base, where Ryan Nicholson guards the line. They play him to pull slightly in the infield. 0-2. Malian Petrie with his feet in the outfield, actually several steps now. Short right field. You see the Kentucky defensive alignment straight away in the outfield. Oh. That hit him. So Hummel puts a man on. Looked like he was sailing along.
They had him 0-2.
Yep.
And that ball's that's a foot inside. Hits him right off the thigh.
Believe it or not, that's the first batter he's hit this year. It's now O'Brien, or rather Hummel, with a man on first, facing Jared Sprague Lott, and the Wildcats will shift him to the left. And this will be the first time we've seen this today. He has walked twice, driven in a run with a sac fly, and struck out. A .309 hitter. Transferred in from Richmond, won the third base job. Native of Philadelphia. And now Petrie is back on the other side of second base, but well toward the bag, and Hummel delivers strike one. There you see Petrie at the top of your screen. One out. Tried to run that away, ran it a little too far. Hummel last year at a Division II school, but has developed into an SEC closer.
And he'll just keep messing with you off speed, show you the fastball, not always for a strike.
McLaughlin is only a step or two off the bag at first. He has not attempted a steal this year. Now the 1-2.
Good pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Did a good job of laying off of that pitch. Yeah, buddy. See, if I'm at the plate, I'm out.
That's the pitch that Aloy got a couple times. And now 2-2 from Hummel. Now it's full. Now Hummel does not have an overpowering fastball, which is why he relies on that breaking ball to set up hitters.
Wow.
Now they're at first and second with 1 out.
Kentucky has really had a lot of trouble putting hitters away. They've been able to get ahead 0-2, 1-2, but have had a lot of trouble putting hitters away, as you see a picture of Evan Bauer in the bullpen.
Byers the lefty, Hummel the righty, pitching to a left-hander, Kendall Diggs. Last time up, cracked one up the middle, went for an infield single and an RBI. And Hummel, who struck out the first man he faced, suddenly is having a hard time throwing strikes. You see Kendall wore one earlier.
He got ahead of McLaughlin 1-2, had him actually 0-2, lost him, then got ahead of Lott, Sprague Lott, and then lost him too. So maybe just to settle down, I don't think it's nerves, but I'd just say his adrenaline's probably running pretty good. Try to get him into some kind of proper routine.
Well, he's had to wait more than a week to atone for what happened down in South Carolina.
That's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard
Absolutely. Especially from a guy who, as I said, developed into a dependable SEC closer.
Yeah.
He's had a bad day at the office.
But you can reconcile that. One thing good about baseball, you're usually going to play pretty soon after those things happen, so you can forget about the bad, offensive meeting going on here at the plate as well. Dick's getting some instructions.
So 1-0 to Kendall Diggs. Arnold delivers a strike at 88 miles an hour. Got under it. McCarthy in center. 2 out. Kentucky is 1 out away from a series win over Arkansas and sole possession of first place in the Southeastern Conference. Peyton Holt will try to keep the Razorbacks alive. 0 for 3 today with a walk, a .315 hitter. Homegrown Greenwood, Arkansas. First pitch swinging, that's deep to right, but there's McCoy. And the Wildcats close out Arkansas. They take 2 out of 3 with a 7-4 victory. Kentucky now 18 conference victories, all alone atop the Southeastern Conference.
Well, we saw some good ball games and 2 really good ball clubs that are going to make a lot of noise as we go to the NCAA. But Kentucky was able to hang on. Starting pitching just enough. A lot of traffic for Arkansas today, who has a really classy bunch of guys. And, you know, it's been a long time since you could say Kentucky was atop the Southeastern Conference in baseball.
All alone.
All alone.
So Wildcats win their first series from Arkansas since 2011 here in Lexington. Cats take on Wright State here in Lexington in a couple of weeks. But next up for Kentucky is a big trip to the Gainesville, Florida to see the Florida Gators. Now for our hard-working crew, they busted it all weekend. And my partner Doug Flynn, I'm Dick Gabriel. Thanks for joining us. That's it. So long from Lexington on the SEC Network.